Hello, this is Dr. Nancy Lubo, and I'm inviting you to join me for a two-part introductory webinar that's going to happen in September. On the 12th of September is part one, and the second part is on September 26th, a day-long seminar each. What I'm covering are two very big and in-depth subjects that we'll touch on, and I'll give you an overview. But the main part that I want to introduce you to here is the importance of the arts in healing complex PTSD and the importance of understanding that complexity is the nature of post-traumatic stress for the majority of people. It's not a one-incident event. It's something that happens over a long period of development, and it changes the brain, mind, and body, and it creates a foundation of maladaptive behaviors that we as therapists and as creative artists have to understand how to go inside the brain and reroute those maladaptive behaviors. Cross-modal therapy is something I coined because it really deals with crossing the modes of our brain and our perceptions and joining them in tasks that are creative, such as what I call word-image reprocessing. What that means is that we think in two ways. We have an image view of the world and a verbal view of the world, and that's how human mind is constructed. So the arts, specifically crossing the verbal, the auditory through music, the visual through the visualization arts, and the movement arts, the kinesthetic mode, are joined in exercises that help unite and make the whole brain engaged in problem solving, so that when we get clients with PTSD of a complex nature and we can't get them to talk, that we can access the back door of their perceptual process. The arts are uniquely designed to access the image-laden world of the unconscious. And that's what I'd like you to enjoy learning. We will learn how the prefrontal cortex, which is the most advanced part of the human brain, is brought online by these exercises. And the wonderful news we've gotten from interpersonal neurobiology and the work of Dan Siegel has informed us that the prefrontal cortex can link those parts of the mind and brain that were disrupted and fragmented and actually dissociated by traumatic development and adverse childhood events. So join me for the first day, the level 1 on healing complex PTSD and the neurobiology of trauma and creativity as applied to clinical practice, where you'll get many problem-solving exercises that deal with how to join the split brain and make it whole. The second part, level 1, is on September 26th, and I invite you to continue learning about the most powerful trauma recovery model that I've ever worked with, and that's the Sanctuary model. The originator, Dr. Sandra Bloom, is my mentor and my doctoral guide, and she allowed me to use the concept, the principles, or the organizing principle called self, which represents the self and safety, emotions, loss, and future. That becomes the infrastructure for all the creative arts cross-modal exercises that I've designed in a training manual. And I will show you that working with the domain of safety and emotions and loss and future is not a linear sequence or a staircase event for clients who've had trauma. It's a spiral that moves through all those domains. We learn how the cross-modal creative arts repairs the psychobiological fragmentation in each of those domains, so that we can give clients music and visualization exercises that bring them to safety when they've lost it, when they've been threatened, that they can return to safety, that they can see and dialogue with their emotions, that they can manage the distress of loss and move back to their safe places. These safe places must be installed, and that's where we start. And the whole paradigm of self starts with safety. It doesn't end with future, it keeps returning to safety. It's a very exciting model. The objectives are to learn that we have a brain that can change, and we have to give it the information from all aspects of perception that help us weave back a story and a healthy narrative that makes us integrate, gives us the tools to make us integrate traumatic events into a life that's well worth living. Please join me, and I hope to see you in September. Thank you.